Overnight, Republicans and Democrats go head-to-head. Their final chance to make changes to the charges against President Trump before the historic vote. We're live in Washington with the latest.
Targeted attack. Disturbing new details about that deadly shootout in New Jersey. Surveillance video showing the shooters intentionally firing on a Jewish market, killing 3 people inside, and a pipe bomb discovered in their truck. What we're now learning about the radical group they're connected to, as thousands honor the victims overnight.
Breaking news. An 18-year-old college student murdered in a park in Manhattan around 5:30 p.m. The manhunt for the attackers, and why wasn't a security guard in his booth?
That New Zealand volcano still too dangerous as the death toll climbs. 2 brothers born in Chicago now identified among the victims. Their parents still missing.
Bombshell deal. Movie mogul Harvey Weinstein's $47 million settlement with dozens of women not admitting wrongdoing or paying anything out of his own pocket. What it means for the Me Too movement.
High-tech home invasion. Chilling videos from families who say their Ring cameras were hacked.
I was even scared of my room for a few days. I'm still a little bit scared of it.
The 8-year-old telling her story after a hacker claimed to be Santa.
And can they crack her? The A-list actors trying to grill Daisy Ridley for Star Wars secrets. Just days before the highly anticipated Skywalker finale.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. It's great to have you with us here on this Thursday morning. We tried to grill Daisy Ridley. She's not giving up anything.
No, maybe just a little bit, very little bit there, George. It is another critical day in the impeachment battle. The House Judiciary Committee will vote on articles of impeachment by the end of the day.
The final hurdle before a full vote in the House, and the committee's back in action again this morning after debating the charges against President Trump late into the night. Senior congressional correspondent Mary Bruce is tracking it all on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, this is the final legislative hurdle before the House votes to impeach. And last night, for hours, both sides made their case. It was messy, heated, and at times deeply emotional. Democrats say they have to stop what one described as the president's constitutional crime spree, while Republicans are railing against what they call a hot garbage impeachment. Overnight, the passionate partisan divide on full display.
If we do not respond to President Trump's abuses of power, the abuses will continue.
My heart breaks for a committee that has trashed this institution, and this is where we are now.
The debate pointed and personal.
I believe the president abused the power of his office.
Democratic Congresswoman Lucy McBath explaining she came to Congress to fight for gun control after her son was shot and killed.
After this vote, I will continue to champion the ideals this country instilled in me to stand up for the safety and security of our communities and to fight for an America I prayed that my son, Jordan, would be proud of.
But Republicans say this is nothing more than a political push to oust the president.
If anyone is guilty of abusing power or obstructing Congress around here, it's the Democrats, not the president.
This is the quickest, thinnest, weakest, most partisan impeachment in all of American presidential history.
Trump is railing against the charges and looking ahead to making his case on friendlier turf in the Republican-controlled Senate.
They're impeaching me. You know why? Because they want to win an election, and that's the only way they can do it.
But Democrats insist the evidence is rock solid that the president abused his power by pressuring Ukraine to investigate his 2020 rival and obstructed Congress. In order to protect the next election, Democrats say they must impeach.
The president is the smoking gun. President Trump has solicited foreign interference before. He is doing it now, and he will do it again.
Now, the debate will continue today for several more hours. This is the last chance for Republicans to propose changes to these historic charges. And, George, after every member has had their say, the committee will likely vote to send the articles of impeachment to the full House, which is expected to vote and impeach the president sometime next week.
Right, Mary. The Democrats in the Judiciary Committee are united, but House Speaker Nancy Pelosi expecting some defections in the floor?
Yeah, George, there are a few moderate Democrats from swing districts who are likely to vote against these articles of impeachment. They are concerned that voting for impeachment could hurt them in the next election. We know of at least 2 Democrats who are going to oppose, and there are several more who say they are still undecided.
And looking ahead to that possible likely Senate trial, there seems to be a consensus developing that it'll be a quick trial.
Yet Republicans we have talked to in the Senate say they want this to move quickly. They are eyeing a trial of about 2 weeks. They say that they do not want to hear from any live witnesses either, even though the president has said he would like to call witnesses, including possibly Hunter Biden and the whistleblower. But Republicans we have talked to in the Senate feel that impeachment is hurting them politically. They feel that no good can come from this. They say it is a sham and that they simply want to move on. The challenge now, of course, is to get the president on board with that strategy.
Mary Bruce, thanks very much, Robin.
And George, now to those new developments in that deadly attack in New Jersey. Thousands remembering the victims overnight as authorities learn more about the shooters, saying surveillance video shows they clearly targeted that Jewish market. Adrian Bankert is in Jersey City with the latest. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning to you too, Robin. And law enforcement officials have confirmed that that surveillance video you spoke about is part of their investigation. Now, while we're still awaiting an official word as to the motive, we know the location behind us here is more than a building. There's a synagogue located next door, and this is all part of the small but growing Hasidic community here who grieved overnight at 2 huge funerals.
Overnight, thousands in Brooklyn, New York and Jersey City, New Jersey mourned the victims of the New Jersey shooting rampage. As those who lost their lives are laid to rest, new surveillance video captures what preceded the killings inside this kosher market.
There were multiple other people on the streets, so there were many other targets available to them that they bypassed to attack that place. So it was clearly that was their target, and they intended to harm people inside.
Authorities say that just around 12:20 p.m. Tuesday, 2 suspects parked right outside the market, slowly emerging from a stolen U-Haul van, armed with high-profile rifles. The suspects, 47-year-old David Anderson and 50-year-old Francine Graham, enter the store with at least one of them opening fire. Police say the 2 may have been members of the Black Hebrew Israelites, a group known to law enforcement for its anti-Jewish and anti-police views. Sources tell ABC News that Anderson recently posted anti-Semitic comments online, and investigators recovered a pipe bomb and religious writings inside that U-Haul.
There is no question that this is a hate crime.
Among the dead, market owner Mindy Ferenz, a mother of 5, employee Douglas Rodriguez, and a customer, 24-year-old Moshe Deutsch.
A few hundred bullets went into a body of a 24-year-old child. How can we, as a community, as people, bear that?
One person in the market was injured but survived. Police officers eventually killed the suspects after a gun battle that lasted hours.
We have our officers down, and a lot of officers out here out in the open.
It sounded like we were at war. That's what it sounded. It sounded like Desert Storm out here, like we were at war.
According to the state attorney general, the attackers were also prime suspects in the murder of an Uber driver just days earlier. Police believe it is why the 2 shot and killed Detective Joe Seals, who encountered the 2 at a nearby cemetery before driving to the kosher market. Throughout the neighborhood, cars and buildings are ridden with bullet holes. The painful memory of the violence still fresh, with police being commended for jumping into the line of fire.
Could have been far deadlier, and the reason it was not is due to the heroism of the men and women of the Jersey City Police Department.
And state and federal officials have told us that they hope to reveal more of what they've learned from those documents inside that stolen U-Haul and the motive of these 2 suspects sometime today. Michael.
All right, so much to process there, Adrian. Thank you so much. And now to that breaking news. An 18-year-old college freshman murdered last night in Manhattan, walking through a park near Columbia University. ABC's Ariel Reshef is there at Morningside Park with the latest. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, Michael. This horrifying killing has stunned this college community. This happened about 5:30 yesterday evening in a residential area near Barnard College. 18-year-old freshman Tessa Majors, seen here in the Columbia Daily Spectator school newspaper, was walking through the park behind me when she was apparently jumped by a group of suspects who stabbed her multiple times in the torso after demanding money. Then they fled. She managed to climb the steep stairs to the guard station behind me, but it was empty. The guard making rounds at the time. He came back about 30 minutes later to discover her. He called 911 and she was rushed to the hospital, but she did not survive. Her cell phone, which was not charged, was found nearby alongside a knife and a hat. Another person called 911 and said the suspect was apparently wearing a green jacket. Police swarmed the hangout of a known robbery suspect who matched that description and found a trail of blood. This morning, the Barnard president has said this entire community is grieving alongside Tessa's family, and they are working with the NYPD to ensure student safety. George.
Yeah, just a horrifying story. Okay, Ariel, thanks very much. We're going to go overseas now to New Zealand, where officials say the volcano is still highly volatile, making it risky to return to the island and search for the missing. We're also learning more about the victims, including 2 young brothers originally from Chicago. Marcus Moore has the latest. Good morning, Marcus.
George, at first light here in New Zealand, teams will begin the effort to recover those bodies in what is a race against time. And a police official here said that a lot has to go right for this to work.
In just hours, searchers will begin a risky effort to recover the bodies of 8 missing people presumed dead from Monday's eruption. This morning, the official death toll stands at 8, and police now know the locations of 6 bodies on White Island, another initially seen near a stream, and the location of an 8th person still unknown.
Our first priority will be to get those 6 people off, and we will have very limited opportunity to look about for the 2 others.
On the ground, the situation still, quote, highly volatile. Scientists estimating a 40 to 60% chance of another eruption. Families of the missing are desperate. Mark Inman's brother Hayden was a tour guide on a boat that brought tourists to the island.
There's been 2 perfect opportunities to get out there, and we haven't gone.
At the time, officials deeming the threat level too high to recover bodies on the ash-covered island. The hazards include fast-moving rocks, magma, and scorching temperatures.
Let there be no mistake. It is not a zero-risk game.
And overnight, new details about the victims who perished. Among the dead, 2 brothers, 13-year-old Matthew and 16-year-old Barron Hollander from Chicago. Their parents, Martin and Barbara, remain missing and are presumed dead. Barbara's parents releasing a statement saying, quote, "We are together with our family, grieving the loss of our loved ones. Our amazing daughter, Barbara Hollander, and our son-in-law, Martin Hollander, were a wonderful couple and parents to our grandsons. We appreciate all of the support."
When it came that they were the ones who were missing, it was pretty much unbelievable.
This recovery operation is expected to take several hours, and scientists will be on board a Navy vessel monitoring the volcano and will be giving real-time information to the team on the ground. The hope is if an eruption is about to happen, they will be able to warn that team and get them off quickly.
We certainly do hope so. Okay, Marcus, thanks very much. And in our next half hour, we're going to have a closer look at the dangers of volcano tourism.
And also overseas, a high-stakes election is underway in Great Britain. Voters are heading to the polls right now, deciding whether or not to keep Prime Minister Boris Johnson in power, with Brexit on the line yet again. James Longman has the latest in London. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. This is the most important UK general election in a generation. Britain is heading to the polls to elect a government in the hope of finding a solution to that Brexit crisis. Boris Johnson, current Prime Minister and Trump favourite, is fighting to keep his Conservative Party in power for a 10th year. His Get Brexit Done slogan has cut through, but the opposition is asking how. His simple message may win him votes, but his critics say he's thin on detail. Opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn has had his own issues, dogged by allegations of anti-Semitism in his Labour Party, and unwilling to make public his own position on Brexit. Both leaders divisive in this disinformation election. Johnson's party criticised, for instance, for changing its Twitter handle to Fact Check UK to dupe voters during a TV debate. And he's avoided scrutiny, appearing to hide in a refrigerator rather than face this TV anchor. Humour has long been Johnson's go-to move, and there have been lighter moments like his Love Actually themed campaign ad. With his party's lead narrowing, the joke could be on him. George.
Okay, James, thanks very much. We're going to move on now to those storms on both coasts, bringing a deep freeze from the Midwest to the east. Millions are going to feel that cold blast, and Ginger's tracking the latest. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, George. We are certainly feeling it here in New York, but look at this. West Seneca, New York, showing you the visibility low, up to 9 inches of fresh snow reported in western New York. A lot of that lake enhanced and the roads a mess there in Amherst. Now you have all that cold snow on the ground, and then you take a high pressure system, you settle it right over the mid-Atlantic, and that's what we're going to see this morning. So you basically have all the air rushing down, no clouds are formed. It's like taking the blanket off. So that high pressure system is located there. You can see the center of the high kind of represented by those streamlines, which are the surface winds. I'll take you up I-95 and show you how cold it is. It's starting the morning with the wind chill in Washington, D.C. at 18, 12 New York City, Hartford 9, look at up to Bangor. 0. So you want to get sub-zero, go interior New England. And quick look, there's a storm coming. There are winter weather advisories from Winston-Salem through Roanoke, Virginia. This is for the end of the week, Michael.
Let's put the blanket back on. All right. Thank you so much, Ginger. Now we're going to turn to a stunning new investigation into college sports. A new report from USA Today Networks uncovered dozens of star athletes punished for sexual misconduct who transferred to other schools and were permitted to keep playing. Amy Robach is here with the latest. Good morning, Amy.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. This is pretty disturbing. According to this investigation by the USA Today Network, these athletes represented some of the best sports programs in the country, including a number of top NCAA football teams.
This morning, bombshell discoveries surrounding Division I athletes disciplined for sexual misconduct. A USA Today Network's investigation finding that over the past 5 years, dozens of current and former Division I athletes disciplined for sexual misconduct at their universities were able to transfer into new NCAA programs despite being punished by their original schools or the court system.
We only got access to about 10% of the Division I schools' disciplinary records. And among them, we found nearly 50 athletes who were found responsible for sexual assault, and about a quarter of them actually transferred to other schools.
Mayron Jameson was a junior at the University of Idaho in 2013 when she says she was sexually assaulted by wide receiver Jeree Level. She reported him to the school, which eventually found him responsible and expelled him, but not before he transferred to Stony Brook University in New York, where he played football for another 2 seasons.
Being a student athlete's a privilege, and I feel like he should have lost that privilege.
The NCAA responding that their policy states that colleges and universities must cooperate with all investigations into sexual violence, which must be managed in the same manner as investigations involving all other students and staff on campus. They say the NCAA Board of Governors will continue to evaluate its policies, but certainly these findings are incredibly concerning.
Absolutely, to say the least.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Amy. We're going to turn now to dramatic video of an emergency landing caught on camera in Phoenix. Take a look at this surveillance footage from a nearby business capturing a small plane going down on the street while approaching the airport Wednesday morning, skidding on the asphalt, damaging a few vehicles and the aircraft. But fortunately, no one was seriously injured, and the officials are investigating the cause of the crash.
Wow. Thank goodness no one was injured. Yeah. Following a lot of other stories this morning, including the outrage over Harvey Weinstein's deal with his accusers. He's not going to have to pay anything himself or admit wrongdoing.
And the concerns about those popular Ring security cameras after a hacker scares a little girl in her home claiming to be Santa. We'll talk about that, but first let's go back to Ginger.
And I've got this image of Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that's Minnehaha Falls. It's like all of us feel this morning like we're standing underneath that. But that is the same type of river of moisture that's actually going to be coming from the west and bringing up to 20 inches of snow for Colorado starting tomorrow. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the Snowy Cities, sponsored by Jeep.
This seat sits at the center of the arena. For those who never get snowed in or washed out, who prefer momentum over gravity. But this seat is not for spectators. Well-qualified lessees can now lease the all-new 2020 Jeep Gladiator for $300 a month.
Have warmer gear ready to go today. Temperatures will stay in the 30s throughout the afternoon hours today. In fact, probably going to take us all morning long to get above freezing. But sunshine throughout your day today. Clouds increase tonight, and tomorrow we'll start tracking a chance for some morning showers, maybe even a little bit of freezing rain around Culpeper and areas down around Luray. 45 your high temperature for Friday. It's a wet evening and wet Saturday too, especially early morning. The high Sunday 50 with sunshine.
big piece coming up looking back at our year here in GMA.
It's going to be a good one.
We love that.